thank you guys
Yeah,
for
now
tuning
it's
in
time.
and dealing with our bullshit because we were testing shit out because our
Chinn's
guy,
gone.
our mainstream fucking pioneer Chinn is doing stupid things like working for the NBA, but who cares? Who cares about that guy? But welcome to Senpai Talk if you're new. We appreciate it. I'm going to run through our hosts. You got me. My name is Kumar. You can find me on Kumar Sutra. Kumar_Sutra on TikTok, any socials. But yeah, to my left is my lovely, lovely lady, PARI, aka the Manga Mama of the stream. She's holding it down. She's being Chinn for the day. She's our tech advisor because I can't do shit on this computer. And last but not least, we got Mr. 100K on TikTok, Chili, the god.
Gang.
But yeah. So aside, yo, what's up, Sleepy Sharingan?
Yo,
What's going on?
Fortune,
You want to be a
we'll get
guest?
you
We
on the
could
show.
definitely
We'll
make
get
that
you on the
happen.
show one week. No
We
doubt.
usually do segments on other anime content creators, Sleepy. So we might hit you up.
Yeah, Senpai Spotlight. And we'll put you right in that corner over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But aside from all that, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be reviewing the spring 2021 season of anime. And the first show we got up, as you see here on our whiteboard, or chalkboard, whatever you want to call it, is Mashiro no Ota, a.k.a. Those Snow White Notes. Is that what that's called in English, Chili?
Yep. Yeah,
So I haven't
that's
started
the
it at
English
all
translation.
yet, but I know you've been gushing about the show, so take it away, sir.
Yeah, so this is one that I remember when we talked about kind of like our mid-season review, like what we were watching. Very high up on the show. If you haven't seen it, it's high school drama, music, and it basically follows this character, this main character who he really looked up to his grandpa. His grandpa was the main person in his life. And his grandpa was like a world famous, world renowned shamisen player. So when his grandpa passes away, he kind of like loses any motivation he had to play the shamisen, loses his hero basically. And before his grandpa passed, he told him, don't just copy my sound. You need to create your own sound. So until you figure out your own sound, I don't want you to play the shamisen. So this character leaves his home, goes to Tokyo, and kind of goes there to try to rediscover who he is and who his sound is. So throughout the show, you follow him. He first goes to Tokyo. He plays a show, like some random, like get up on the stage, play a show, whatever. He like blows everybody away. And then his mom finds out where he is. She enrolls him in high school, or enrolls him back into school because he left school. And then it basically follows him as he joins the shamisen club at school, and you see him grow alongside these other side characters as they hone their craft and each kind of create their own sound. And it's just really, you see him grow and just rediscover a passion that he lost. So I would say it's similar to Kono Oto Tomare, if you've seen that. It's also a shamisen anime, and like March Comes In Like a Lion or Your Lion April, where you see a character kind of lose their way and rediscover a passion. I think if you like those shows, then I think you'll enjoy this one. You guys haven't seen it, Kumar, Perry?
Nope.
But feel free to talk about it freely. Like honestly, like
I probably won't.
Like she probably won't watch it. I probably will, but like Lexi said, I think from your description and just seeing it in general, like on a first glance basis, it kind of looks like or reminds me of something like Your Lie in April. I don't know if it's gonna be that emotionally invested because Your Lie had that romance department in it, but
yeah, it's not as like emotionally taxing as Your Lie in April at all. It is a good story. I don't think it's a must-watch show. Like I wouldn't say like go out of your way to watch this show, but if you have some time and you want to check out something a little bit different from what you're used to watching, I think this is worth a watch. The story is good. It progresses well. The shamisen, like the music, is sick. Like it's
and that's
so dope.
what I think is going to be the big takeaway for me too. Just hearing the music in general.
Yeah. The only thing is the ending of the show. The ending was like it built up so much, and then the ending was just kind of like and there hasn't been an announcement for like a second season or a movie or OVAs or anything like that. So it's kind of like if that's the way it's gonna end, it's like like it was still a good show, but the ending was definitely just like meh. So
Chili,
if you
keep in
have some
mind,
time and you want to watch it,
I think somebody in the chat said what, or asked you specifically what your favorite anime of the season was. So if you haven't gotten to it yet, just make note of being like, "Yo, this is my favorite of the season."
Oh yeah. We'll get there.
We will get there, I'm sure. So next we got Odd Taxi, and me and Parry were able to watch and finish it. And
you finished
Parry,
it? Yo.
I'll say Parry wanted to drop it at first, but I was like, "Yo, trust me, it's gonna get somewhere. It's gonna go somewhere." Because I'm sure, like Don't Sweat said, it was like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Like it's got a slow build, and then once the ball gets rolling, shit just happens, and like you're glued. So, yeah, I loved it. Basically, the show is about a taxi driver. If you see the walrus right here, his name was, I forgot his name already.
Odokawa.
Okagawa, something like that.
Odokawa.
Odokawa.
Yeah.
So he's a taxi driver, and he's a very strange individual because you could tell something's like he's got something special about him, and basically there's an overlying murder mystery at hand. And as you see, all these characters in the background are somehow involved with the walrus and solving or finding out about this murder mystery and just the crime in general that people get into. So
Parry, it's a little slow to start because they like hint at something and you're like, and then it goes, episode like 2's like, but then the ending starts to go like, whoa. So it just takes you to the end of the season for all of those pieces that they keep throwing at you, but they don't really give you any resolve to finally stick together and make an impact. But I do have to say the twist for the last episode.
Yeah, the last episode twist
didn't
was
see
crazy.
It coming. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
it was really frustrating.
That was fire.
So
I agreed. Like this show started off very hot for me, and then middle of the season was like. And I was watching, I was like, all right, please don't drop the ball. And then the last couple episodes, like Parry said, picked up. And then that last episode took it from being like maybe like a solid 7.5 to like a solid 9. Like that last episode, I was like, oh, this
so if you guys in chat
were
kind of iffy on this show, I definitely think you guys should stick through with it and watch it to the end because, like Parry said, she wasn't enjoying the slow take, but I think this is what makes this anime a little different because a lot of animes try to like hook you in within the first 2 or 3 episodes, or at least that's what most of us give an anime to be able to wow us within the first 3 or 4 episodes. But I really like the slow pace because you could tell like they're throwing like tidbits of each character that you're meeting and how it all comes together with the walrus. But I really think the dialogue in this show is what carried the anime. I know like there's not a lot of crazy action or anything like that throughout most of the show, but I just think seeing how the characters talk and interact with each other and the relationships they have with each other was really interesting and kept me engaged. So regardless of all that, I love the show. I thought it was, and the twist at the end was fucking phenomenal. So I'm gonna give this show an easy 9.5 out of 10.
Wait, so Mako brings up a good point, and we need to talk about a precedent for the rest of this stream. Are we spoiling at all? Are we allowing the chat to spoil? Are we saying how we're like, oh, it was a great twist at the end? Or
we could be. I think we could be general.
I mean,
I don't think we should
will.
Spoil.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, not like specific details.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Pete,
but yeah,
spoil it.
I don't know if I have anything else to say about the show other than if you like noir mystery, like murder mystery, like Quentin Tarantino.
What were your ratings? What were the ratings?
I gave it a 9.5 out of 10.
Chili?
Gave it a 9.
Okay, I give it a 6.
we know Parry's rating
You were just
skill.
saying so many good things about it.
I like the twist.
For anybody that is new
but
here that doesn't understand Parry's rating scale, Parry considers a masterpiece to be an 8. So, just know that.
Parry is canceled. But yeah, honestly, I can't say enough good things about this show. So, like I said, especially if you like going to the movie theaters and seeing like a mystery or like Quentin Tarantino-esque movies, then I think this is an anime for you. All right, cool. Moving on to I think one of the better shows, might be top 5 of the season. We got Vivi, Florence Eye Song.
Oh my god, amazing!
So basically, the show is Terminator and
iRobot.
iRobot,
iRobot.
but
Yeah.
with
And with Vocaloids.
with Vocaloids, exactly.
Yeah.
So, long story short about this plot synopsis, our heroine in the picture you see, Vivi, she is a android robot thing that humans have started made robots to help service them in civilization.
She's an AI.
And she's an AI robot, and her sole purpose in this world is to sing and make people happy by singing, because she's like, a pop idol or whatever. And in the first episode, you don't realize you're not watching what you think you're watching based on the synopsis of the plot from like My Anime List or whatever, because in the first episode, and this is not a spoiler, you see humans creating the error of their ways because all the robots are fucking murdering them, all the humans. And then somehow our heroine, the Vocaloid pop singer robot, is the main reason that, or is the main way of rewriting history to make it not bad.
Yeah, so
Basically.
her goal is to sing to make people happy, but due to factors that they start to delve into at the end, that she's the one chosen as the AI sent back to 100 years to try to fix major events in history in order to avoid the future that we start the first episode with, of the AIs just killing humans, which is always the biggest theme for AI, so that's not really a spoiler. That's always the biggest.
Yeah, because they give that they just nail it right to you. Episode 1, you just see humans getting bodied like bad. But do you have anything, since you had such a great analysis or just plot synopsis of the show? Do you want to start out about how you felt about it, Perry?
You did the plot synopsis.
No, but I literally just skimmed over it. You just got way more in depth about the 100 years. Yeah, she got sent 100 years in the past to make sure events didn't happen that would lead to the catastrophic events of AIs rebelling against humans. But what did you think of the show?
I like you got to talk about the animation. It's
if you guys are looking for fucking hands to be thrown, this is the fucking show. They were killing it. This is on some like Naruto versus Sasuke like animation levels of fighting. Like you wouldn't expect it, but Vivi got hands. She was on like kung fu levels.
When she went into like combat mode. When she went into combat mode, that was crazy.
This was Studio Wit?
Yes, that's why it's as amazing as it is. Because they only do a couple pieces a year, and when they do them, they put all of their time and investment into them. So Studio Wit totally makes sense why you had the turnout that you did for animation. So animation was amazing. Music was really pretty good.
Soundtrack was popping, obviously, because they had our heroine's a singer, so.
Yeah.
The fighting was incredible. I thought it was so good. Mm-hmm. I like the side characters. I actually, taking a deeper root into it, even towards the end, all the key moments that they use to highlight each episode as events in AI are really fascinating, because artificial intelligence is multifaceted, and there's a lot of errors that humans are afraid of encountering in the future, and there's a lot of moral dilemmas and ethical dilemmas. And this show does a really good job navigating like how some of these ethical dilemmas could play out. Like, what if you fall in love with your AI? And Chobits is a whole anime based on just that. But I think Vivi, being able to just take that and have that as a plot of one episode, does a really good job of fleshing it out to the detail they can. So that's just one concept of many that come into the world of AI when you bring that when you bring up AI. So overall, I think it did a really great job with showcasing artificial intelligence, all the fighting, all the way up to the end. The ending, I thought, was pretty like iRobot Terminator cliche. It was kind of like, oh, okay, like so it wasn't. The ending wasn't like awe-inspiring or amazing to me. But I was like, all right, they wrapped it up like how I would see fit. Like, I think Odd Taxi had more of a twist for an end than Vivi did. Right? Would you say the same?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there was a couple episodes in Vivi, like the one episode with like the other AI singer that with the black hair. Like that twist I didn't see coming. Yeah. But other than that, I think Perry summed it up in general about what we all love about the show. Like great animation, great soundtrack. The plot is interesting because they obviously start off strong, and now you're curious about how does she go about correcting history. Chili, you have anything to add?
I mean, you guys nailed most of it. I absolutely love this show. I gave it, obviously, you guys know. If you're new here, I rate everything on how much I enjoy it.
Same.
So I gave this one a 10 because there was not a moment of this show where I was like not mind blown or not like super into it. Another thing, what Perry was touching on about the AI and everything and all these moral dilemmas, I would also say it's just like Ghost in the Shell in that aspect, because Ghost in
Yeah.
the Shell also kind of gets into that what is a human soul? Can AIs have souls? Like
Yeah.
it kind of gets into that whole thing, and I always love that when that is discussed. And another thing with whenever something happens with time travel, I feel like you can always pick up on different plot holes here and there with a lot of shows.
Yeah, for sure.
But what I really liked about this was like she went back in time and she changed an event, and it wasn't just like, okay, everything she changed one thing and everything's gonna go. It's like she changed one thing, so it ended up changing a bunch of other things,
Yeah,
and
it's
you could
butterfly
see the
effect.
timeline. The timeline would go normal timeline; it would come off this way, and then once she changed something, it would start to come back, and it would go back and forth. And I think they did a really good job with that.
So rating?
He said 10. I'm gonna give it a 7. I enjoyed it. That means
A 7 is fantastic for Perry. A 7 is
Oh my
fantastic for
God.
Perry.
She's got the harshest rating I think I've ever heard from like anybody. Like I don't like you need to be like a movie critic or something like like
Yeah,
making
7.
Ebert
articles.
and
You
Ebert or
said 10.
whatever.
You said 10, Chili?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it like a 9.8. I'm not gonna give it a 10 because if I had to rewatch it, I'm sure there's something I could pick out that I don't like about it. But 9.8.
Yeah, HQ's 8 out of 10 is a masterpiece. 7's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
really
A 7's
good.
fantastic for
What's the
Perry.
adjective you use for a 10 out of 10 then? If 8's in masterpiece.
Godly.
Okay, all right, we'll take it. All right, but yeah, everyone watch
Godly.
Vivi. You will not be bored of the show. All right, here's the
Yes.
next show we got. I think is a sleeper, but I know me and Chili watched it. Or I didn't finish it, but I am planning on finishing it, obviously. But I am enjoying everything about it. Is Bakuten? It's a show about
Bakuten was fire.
men's rhythmic gymnastics.
I did not watch this one, so.
And as you can see in the picture, a lot of husbandos, a lot of cool character designs.
The
But
characters in
basically,
the show were fantastic.
yeah. So Chili, you want to give a brief? I mean, the plot is pretty simple. Like it's
I mean,
like
the plot's it's a sports anime. You have a kid go to a high school. He's never tried rhythmic gymnastics. But before he chooses to go to this high school, he sees them in a competition, and it kind of blows him away. And he's like so mesmerized by it, and he's like, you know what? I want to give this a shot. He is an athlete prior to this, so like he has really good balance, core strength, all the stuff you would need. So he joins the rhythmic gymnastics team, and it's a sports anime. So you meet all these awesome characters that are also a part of the team, and the animation, although there were some like moments where it would be 2D and then go to CG, I think they did a really good job of like
Mixing it in,
blending
yeah.
the two. So you couldn't like it wasn't something where what was it like if anybody watched that spider anime
Oh,
where
God.
with the CG monkeys,
Oh,
like
God.
it wasn't anything like that. But they did a really good job blending the animation, and like I said before, the characters were just really cool. Like the cast is what like really sold me on this show because they were all just like super fun.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me pause you right there, Chili. Perry. Perry. I should went to the bathroom. My bad.
Yeah, I think she gave Skate a 10.
Yeah. So we'll see. That's a great question, Lexi. I'll make sure to ask her when she's back. But, Perry. Yeah, you can. Lexi Otaku is asking is there any anime that you rate 10 out of 10? And I think Pete said you gave Skate a 10.
Well, that's because I gave it a 10 out of like being like just enjoyable, and like I don't rank it with like other animes.
What?
It was
Like,
on
if I
that
had to
chili.
rank
It was
on
on that
a
chili
rating,
scale.
It would be like a 6. But
It's
it's
a-
a 10 on like what I expected it to be, like what you go into.
You're just giving some shows the slide by. Like you're just letting other shows. So what's a 10? What's a 10? What's a show that you've seen after 10?
I've seen a 10.
All right, Lexi, there's your answer. Perry's ratings are very cryptic. Yes. All right, so no show is a 10 out of 10 for her yet, which is I think is
There's some movies that are
okay.
10.
That I could give you. All right, but anyways, back to Bakuten. Chili, do you have anything else to add?
No, that's it. That's it. I really enjoyed this one. I expected to like. I was like, you know what? I'll like it. Like it'll be good. But like, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I
Like I looked
think
forward to watching it.
they did an awesome job making you really like and enjoy the cast of characters here. And I loved how, in most sports animes, most of the episodes are gonna be about like the game, like, or what's happening. I think this show did really well on like showing you that they're preparing for like the event that they're competing in, and obviously you see some of the performances, but they don't dwell too long on the entirety of the performance. Like they'll show you like a few I guess minutes of the routine, and then they'll cut to like them ending it or like after the fact that they ended it. So I think that was an interesting take for them to do. I really enjoyed the characters, and there was one moment in the anime where I left off on it actually that was pretty relatable. I think for a sports anime, I think in general most sports animes can be relatable to a lot of people if you live like that competitive lifestyle, whether in school or outside of school. But there was one episode that really stuck out to me that related to me well, and I think the anime developers of this show did really great job making you connect with the characters, because obviously not a lot of people even know about rhythmic men's gymnastics. You've been watching obviously, but I'll give any sports anime a shot, and this one I ended up really enjoying. So I would give this one a
Yep.
solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you.
You don't believe in fake sports? HQ, this is Olympic. This is an Olympic sport.
It is. It literally is an Olympic sport.
Okay, we'll
Oh
leave it
yeah,
at
that's
that.
all I got
HQ,
with
I'm
that.
not gonna put it past you to not watch to not watch this. So it's okay. It's a fake sport to
Next
HQ.
up,
Olympic sports are fake.
Olympic sports are fake.
All right, so the next anime we got is gonna be all Chili, because me and Perry have not watched this. I probably am not gonna watch it because I'm still iffy on mech anime. But this is 86.
Gas,
Gas?
fire.
Okay.
86 was gas. So essentially you have this. Yo, don't listen to Pete. Pete's literally the
Was it
only
good?
one.
It was
Pete's literally the only one in our Discord that doesn't like 86 that has watched it. Like everybody else loves it. It's Pete.
Yo,
And you know how
Ryuji,
this
welcome
is
to the
that
stream.
4%. This is that 4% where me and Pete do not agree at all on this. 86 was a gas anime. I wish Chinn was here because Chinn would have my back on this too. Um, you get mechs, you have drama, you have some romance, you have sick action. You like the CG in this, you could barely tell it was CG because it was so well done. The action scenes were awesome. Kumar, you would love the Saga from the action scenes.
All
I know
right,
you
I
don't
might
like
give it a
mech.
try.
I know you don't like mech, but like it's not really like focused on the mechs. But anyway, you have this society. Here goes Pete on his AOT rants.
Yo, don't listen to Pete on the AOT slander. AOT is good.
So you have this society called like the Republic of San Magnolia, and they live this like perfect lifestyle. Like they're in a war, but the war that they're in, they haven't had any casualties. Like they're winning no problem. Like everything is perfect. But when you get behind the veil, you find out that they're actually the Republic is separated in 85 districts, and then there's a separate 86th district. And this is basically like people that don't look like the majority of San Magnolia, like the purple hair, purple eyes, whatever, they get kind of segregated. So you get that kind of like racial undertone, almost like you basically get that.
Yeah, Chili, to
So the
chime in on that
86,
point, Burnsy was telling me, I went on TikTok live with him, and he was talking about 86, how he thinks me and Perry would like it more for that plot in terms of like the
yes,
action itself. So I can see why it could be a great show. Just have like the drama in that whole subset of like classism or racism or whatever, like very Hunger Games esque, where
yes.
they have that one district that no one fucks with because they just think people who live in that district are pieces of shit or whatever. So
Yep. Yeah. For that aspect, you would definitely enjoy it. But so you have the 86th district, and these are the people that they actually send out into the war against this autonomous faction or autonomous side that they're fighting called the Legion. So they send the 86 out into the war, and the 86 are the ones that are dying, but they don't consider the people of the 86 to be human. So when they die, they don't count it as a casualty. It's just like whatever, like, because nobody really knows who is fighting the battle besides the people that are in the military of San Magnolia. So you get that there, and the major that we follow, she is an 86 sympathizer, so she wants to like help out the 86 and like do what she can to like be a good person and like be there for them. But obviously she is still a major in the army, so she still has to like carry out her duties. So you get that struggle between doing her job and trying to do the right thing. And then you have the 86 that are there and they've been stuck in this life and stuck in this way where it's kind of like they have almost accepted that their life is to be lived for the Republic and they are going to die no matter what for the Republic. So they go out into these battles never knowing if they're going to survive or even if they're going to get out when they serve their time. So you have this really
Chili,
compelling
HQ
story.
asks, are they bred to fight or something?
So the 80s, more or less, they're bred to fight. If you're a part of the 86th faction, you're automatically like placed into this other faction, and then you are going to war. Like you're gonna end up going to battle. And their whole thing is like they want to low-key exterminate the 86, but they're gonna get the use out of them while they can. So they're not just gonna like go in there and kill them and then fight this war. They're like, all right, we're gonna make you fight this war for us, and when you die in the war, that's our way of exterminating you. So it's like this super interesting plot, super interesting story, and you just have to watch it. Like the story unfolds in such a way that you find out different characters are connected in different ways and different backgrounds. Like you just have to watch it because I don't want to spoil anything because I think this is one when things get revealed, it'll like open your eyes up.
HQ and Peter saying, why would they fight then?
Bro, I've already discussed this with Pete. He literally ignored every fact that I gave him when we discussed this in the Discord. So I'm not even gonna take this bait right now. We have too many other shows to get into.
Yeah, that is true. We still got about like 19 or 20 shows to get through, but regardless. Yo, what's up, Deshaun? Thanks for popping in. This is a show that I probably will end up watching just because I'm starting to see like the more shows I give a chance to in the spring season, the more I'm like, wow, this is actually really good. A lot of sleepers on the spring anime, but like I said, me and Perry haven't watched 86 at all, so we can't really give it.
I would have liked this.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think Perry. Now that you've explained more in detail about it, and Perry also likes mech anime.
So why you no show me?
Cause I don't. We still have to get through so much more. We barely started.
And it's already
Let me
been
watch
it's
this
the
rhythmic
second
gymnastics one that I know Perry's not gonna care about, but this one that she might like, I'll never bring up.
and
But
the
now
second
that you know,
season's already
Chili
been
gave me the
greenlit.
hard sell. Chili gave me the hard sell. But
And second season's already on the way for the fall. And
So
that
what's
light
your-
novel, the light novel is ranked in like the top 50 on Mal. Like
okay. All right, guys. I'll watch it, and Perry will yell at me for why didn't we watch it sooner? So season 1 of 86, Chili, what's your rating?
probably like a solid 9.5.
Damn. All right. So the next show we got is a show about motorcycles. We got Super Cub. Chili, take it away.
Bro, Super Cub, Super Cub is as slice of life as a slice of life anime can get. Like, it is literally about these girls riding motorcycles. That is it. Like, it is, if you love slice of life anime, you have to watch this show. Like, it is an absolute must watch because you're gonna watch it and you're gonna sit back and you're gonna feel like so relaxed. You're gonna like melt into your seat. The one of the best things about this show is the art and the color. So the main character, she like is alone, lives on her own, like doesn't have parents, like she's literally always been alone. And then she discovers the Super Cub, and the Super Cub gives her this like newfound happiness that she never knew. And her having the Super Cub ends up leading her to meeting new friends, and she just discovers a whole new life because of this Super Cub. And it is like the most relaxing, chill, wholesome, just a wonderful slice of life anime.
Did you see what HQ wrote?
about girls' work.
Honestly, though, I think anime about like Grubhub or Uber Eats would be pretty fucking bomb.
It would be funny.
I mean, yeah, it probably would. They should do OVAs where they work for
And they
like
have to like
Uber
they obviously
Eats.
have to like rush to beat the clock so like they don't get their tips
Yeah,
deducted or anything like that. I think that'd be pretty funny.
that would be hilarious. But
But
yeah,
yeah,
it's an incredible slice of life. Solid, like easy, solid 9 out of 10 for a slice of life. Like easy.
yeah, and now that it's 12 episodes, 12, 13 episodes, I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
binging it. So that's the one pro for me in terms of, because I usually never binge shows. I usually just watch them every week. So
Let's
now-
watch it. Sounds like that other one we watched, where they go to the Antarctic.
a place further than the
Yeah.
universe.
Place further than
Kinda
the
like
universe.
that?
Masterpiece.
Like similar vibes.
In a way, yes, in a way.
Alright, let's watch it.
Was that the only slice of life? Would you even consider that show a slice of life? A place further than the universe?
But a place for
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought you don't really watch slice of life. Like a place
Yeah.
further than the universe is like your first one, I think.
No, I've like read a couple, but I just find them boring. But it's like we can like
Fair.
sit through it.
I love slice of life.
It's like
so,
a cozy one.
yeah, it's like a cozy
Yeah,
show.
super cozy.
Pete rates it a 9. It means you have to watch Gabby? Yeah, that's a fair point, Pete. When Pete,
See,
when Pete praises the
that-
show, then there's some clout to it. But when he when he dogs a show, then it's just like, okay, is this guy bullshitting or what? Like I never know with Pete. If you want all of Pete's ratings, check out the What You Say Anime podcast. Yo, somebody ban Don't Sweat for self promo real quick in the chat.
Where's Daddy? Daddy would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, right. All right, so the next show we got on the Spring Anime 2021 list to review, another slice of life. I think I haven't watched it yet, but I want to because I love these types of genres of show. It's 300 years of slime slaying or something like that. I don't know the English
Oh,
title.
that's the one you talked about.
I've been
where
killing
They keep killing.
killing
slime,
slimes for
and now she's,
300
like,
years
super
and maxed
OP.
out my
Yes.
level. Yep. Yeah.
That one
It's
sounds funny.
it's an isekai, but it's very much slice of life. Like
yeah,
it's literally the title of the show is the plot. She literally killed slimes. She got isekai. She died in the real world from overwork, and she just wants to live a life of just being lazy. Like she just wants to live an easy life, and she ends up killing all these slimes, not realizing that it was going to make her super OP. But she did it for 300 years because she's an immortal witch and she's super OP. And once one person discovers that she's super OP, it leads to new people coming into her life. And then they kind of join her party, and she basically every episode she like meets a new person and they kind of like join up with her party and like become a part of her like family. And it's just a really fun show. Like the plot, it's not plot heavy. Like there's nothing you need to be like paying attention to like hardcore. It's literally a slice of life isekai fantasy anime. That's it.
yeah. I'm a big fan of that genre of anime, so it's something I'll get into. I am curious, why are there so many AKs on the screen? Like every character is AK real quick.
Literally.
That's why Chinn's watching this show, honestly. You didn't care about the plot at all.
I'm not a fan of isekais, but
Yeah.
this one, like, because they all are like a male lead who is a loser who is in a harem now in his isekai world. But this one sounds interesting because it's different, and honestly, I would be curious to know like what does happen when you do that, where you kill all the slimes and now you're super powerful. Like, how does your life play out? Like, it actually drives enough curiosity that I'm like, I want to watch, and I bet it's super funny.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy this. But Tilly, did you give it a
I
rating?
give it solid 7.5 because I really enjoyed it. The characters are a lot of fun. There's funny moments. So yeah.
If you rated it a 7.5, now I don't want to watch it.
I mean, what more could you really give a show that has it's a slice of life that's not giving you something you haven't already seen? You know, like
This okay, maybe.
It's another show that's not like it's not a must watch, but I think it's a really fun show. Like if you just want a fun show to watch, like you've been watching a bunch of plot heavy shows, you just want something you can kind of sit back and just laugh a little bit and take in some cute moments, like watch this one.
Okay.
great segue because our next animated review is The Combatants Will Be Dispatched.
A loser in a harem.
No, not an isekai. That's where you're wrong. Excuse you.
It's
Okay,
it's not an
okay.
isekai.
This is literally a show about the main lead, who is our the man here, obviously, because massive, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's
Patriarchy.
Konosuba
The
light.
patriarchy.
it literally it's Konosuba. It's a less funny version of Konosuba,
Yes.
but it's still funny.
Yes. So basically, this show is about this guy. Don't know. His name's like Agent Six. Like he literally is like just
Yeah.
that's his name, Agent Six. He works for an evil corporation. Like he's a bad guy, and his corporation or his
Kisaragi
leaders
Evil Corporation.
is just like, all right, go to this world or whatever and get resources for us or something like that. Honestly, it's a very vague plot, and he just meets these women on his adventures and does bad shit, but doesn't really do bad shit because he somehow is able to come out as like a good guy in a sense. I don't know. It's just a funny show. Okay, I haven't finished watching.
just
I'm
a
like
funny
on
show,
episode
yeah.
6 or 7. But Chili, if you want to delve into it some more,
How it doesn't. I fail to see how it doesn't match my blanket statement.
it's a funny show. You don't watch these shows in general, so of course you're not gonna give a fuck about them.
Yeah, there really isn't like much to say. I'm giving like there's again, not really a plot there. Like it's just a fun show. Like I'd probably give it a 7. It was enjoyable. It was funny. It definitely has a lot of sexually fueled jokes and like some some moments that are like that, but it's just a fun show.
Yeah. Chili, what was the name of the previous show? Libby Burke is asking in the chat.
I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level.
All right, if you want to type that out real quick for her. But yeah, this show, if like everyone has been saying, the combatants will be dispatched. If you love Konosuba, it's made by them, right? It's got the same creators of Konosuba, so
Yep.
it's got that same sort of humor. Personally, I don't think it's as good as Konosuba, but I still laugh at a lot of the jokes and like, the characters. I'm a big fan of the witch in the wheelchair or whatever the hell she does.
Grim, yeah.
Yeah, Grim, she's funny. And yeah. So the next show we got, I'm watching. I haven't finished it yet, like I said, because I am so behind, along with Perry.
Isn't it just bullying?
Is Nagatoro. Chili, I don't know if you watched this.
Watch Nagatoro. Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. The first episode was very hard to get through. Because I wanted him to smack the fuck out of her so bad.
The first episode, I wanted him to put her through a wall, like so badly.
But the show immediately grew on me after the fact because I started to see the direction the show is going in, and yeah, it's a cute, fun show, Yeah, I really don't. There's really not much to say about
everyone it. is like I saw a lot of things on like forums when the show came out, and people were like, "Oh, this is glorifying bullying," and da da da. And it's like, it's not glorifying bullying. Like teasing Master Takagi-san is a much cuter version of this. This is just instead of them being in middle school, they're in high school, so the jokes are a little bit raunchier. It's a little bit. It's not bullying, at least not to me.
It's the classic. Oh, I like
show,
him, so let me tease the fuck out of him. But it just so happens that she made him cry the first episode. So that's
the kid is whatever. But it does get better because I definitely like the first like 2 episodes. I was like, all right, this show has like one more episode for me not to drop it. And then it got better. It like progressively got better as the season went on, and it became less about the teasing and more about kind of like their little cute romance moments. So it definitely ended on a cute note. I'd give it a 7, just a 7. Nothing high, nothing low, but
burn in the chat. Jeez Louise, Perry.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
He's not here.
One day I'll get away.
Low blow.
Pete, it's okay. Perry's just picking on you. It's fine. You could make fun of her for her.
I need AK for this. She's not here, so I'm channeling my inner AK.
Yeah, Deshaun, good.
The show definitely isn't for everybody, for sure.
It had heartwarming moments. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the moments that you see in the show, they are cute. Like the show is definitely cute. Like it's hard to see through it in the early stages of the show, but there's a rhyme and reason for everything. And this show is the classic. I like this guy, so let me bully him, and maybe he'll like me somehow. Yeah, exactly. I got nothing else to say for it. I don't even know what score I would give for it because I'm not finished with it. I'd probably give it like a 7 or 6.5 out of 10, just because it is what it is.
HQ.
Chili.
Yeah, 7. The way it ends, good 7.
Yeah, a good 6, 7. HQ, you don't even go out of your way to watch the types of shows though.
HQ
So
and I have similar tastes.
so then you have no rhyme or reason to even care about what we have to say about this show because you're not even gonna watch it to begin with. If it doesn't have any battle or shonen-esque, or seinen-esque, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Moments or qualities to the show, it's a no-go for HQ.
8 out of 10 for Pete. Interesting.
8 out of 10 for Pete. Nagatoro in the show then. Yeah, she just starts bodying kids that bully him instead. I'd watch that. All right, the next show. I only watched the first episode, but I was already hooked on it because I like the main character. Chili, I know, loves this show. Is Burning Comedy, another sports show about a sport that is very rare to see outside of Asia, of like South Asia and Southeast Asia. It's kabaddi. If you don't know the sport, it's kind of like tag, but a little more aggressive. That's like the only way I can really put it.
It's like tag meets rugby.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
It's crazy. Like,
But the
look
thing
it up
about
on
that
YouTube.
is that you have to say kabaddi as you're chasing or trying to do like.
It's an interesting.
It's an interesting.
Pete doesn't like fun. I'm gonna lead off with that. Pete does not like fun because if you like fun, there's no way you don't like this show. Like, it's just it's another show that is just fun to watch, and it got me like super interested in learning more about kabaddi because the sport itself is like crazy intense. Like, I was on YouTube like watching like old kabaddi like championships and shit. Like, it was wild. So again, if you just want a fun show, and it's probably going to get a second season, at least the way it left off, it'll probably get a second season. If you just want a fun sports anime that's not like super serious sports anime, just watch this.
I like from episode 1 because I've only watched that. I really liked the main character just because he had a different approach to. He was like a super athletic guy, but just like, no, I just want to play video games. Like, I don't want to do anything sports related. And he somehow got like in all sports shows, he got dragged into competing in a sport that he had no interest in, which I think is actually the opposite. Most main characters of sports animes are like wanting to get into the sport. Like, how do I go into getting into the sport? And this guy was just like,
and the thing is, he was a soccer superstar.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he was a soccer
was.
star, like absolute stud on the field. And then he was just like, yeah, I'm tired of like practice and shit.
Yeah, which is honestly like probably super fucking relatable to a lot of people. Like, fuck this, I don't want to do this, keep doing this. But yeah, I'll probably finish it. It's definitely on the lower end of my backlog in terms of what I'm watching or wanting to get into. But I know Chili, you enjoyed this show, and I heard a lot of good things about it from other people, just saying it's a fun show. So I will watch it. What is everyone laughing about? Chinn says Pete the dude chilling at the b-ball courts watching everyone play, talking shit, and then when he gets called up for, he's like, all right, throw 100. Everyone, he's not playing without money. He needs to get paid. He needs something. But yeah, Burning Comedy, if you guys don't know about the sport itself, I think look at some real life footage on YouTube of it. It's very interesting. Definitely something that I don't think will ever get picked up in the States or like any mainstream sort of sports scene. But if you want to learn something new, you can learn about comedy. But the next show is still ongoing, but we originally excluded it because it's still an ongoing anime past the spring season, but PARI just wants to gush over it. So, and it is definitely top 3 of this season is Tokyo Revengers. PARI tried her hardest to stay committed to watching the anime with me, but now she's moved on to reading the manga and leaving me behind. So if you want to gush about it, go ahead, do your thing.
I love it.
We all know KUMAR can't read.
So good. I love a good time travel, and I love the twist that this one has, as well as how the consequences continue to play out because they're always unexpected. It's about Tokyo gangs, and it truly does showcase like the inner workings, the hierarchy, as well as how violent it is. Because that is an era that ruled Japan, and it has some really devastating history behind it. But the story in general follows a crybaby hero. That's his nickname, and he's not the leader. He's the center of focus right there. In the future, he's a loser, and he goes back in time to try to save his buddies. who some of which he becomes friends of in the gang, and some of which are not involved in the gang because they end up having a terrible life. And his ex-girlfriend that he dated when he was a middle schooler ended up dying as part of gang violence, and so he's trying to prevent that future, as well as a string of other events that are a result of his messing with the timeline. I was so dying to read the manga as soon as we watched the first couple episodes, and I held on until like the 12th episode, and then I was like, all right, I gotta leave you in the dust. I gotta figure out what is happening here, because I just, oh my god, when I thought the season was about to end and it didn't, and I was like, but they were supposed to have made it. I like had to binge.
So now she's reading the manga.
Which, by the way, the manga for this year has outsold One Piece. This manga, Tokyo Revengers, has become such a hit in Japan for a good reason. The story is phenomenal, and not really a manga spoiler alert, but now that I'm caught up in the manga, and my dude Takamichi just like needs a break. This poor guy, but I liked him because he's not overly powerful, he's not overly strong, but he does his best. He's gonna try over and over again, no matter how hard he takes. And I really admire that in him as a main character, because you can see Naruto try harder again, but Naruto's gonna also get more powerful. Takemichi doesn't get any stronger. He's still as inept as he started out as, but he gets more people on his side, which is a unique type of leadership. So I am a big fan of this. I can't wait to see the rest of this get animated. It's gonna become just one of those popular shows.
Yeah, so
I try to be as roundabout as
so
possible.
yeah, I mean, like I said, Perry's absolutely in love with the manga. I'm loving every second, like I'm sure most of you are, with the anime. I'm so excited to see how Takamichi goes about righting these wrongs of history and making the people he loves stay safe and healthy in that regards. I know initially watching the show, a lot of people, like, I know a lot of you guys too, or just in general, and me, I'm like, wow, we're gangs, like, they're in middle school. Are they really like throwing down like this in Japan back then, or wherever? And Perry filled me in, like, gang yakuza lifestyle was pretty fucking bad in Japan in that era. Like, they did a lot of crazy shit, like, no matter the age. So I guess that kind of puts some realism to this show, because we obviously, it's anime. We all think it's anime. They probably exaggerate the fuck out of it, but after hearing some of the stories that she's told me, it's just like, oh, okay, well, I guess it does make sense that this shit is happening. But yeah, I love it. I think the action's great. I think the characters are fucking awesome. The plot is, if you're into the whole butterfly effect time travel sort of thing, then you're gonna love this show. Chill, you got anything else to say?
Nah, Perry gushing about it basically covered
real.
everything.
Wait. Is this? I know the anime isn't nowhere near done, but is this a 10 out of 10 for you?
Right now it's a 9.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Higher than
I love it.
Her 8 out of 10 was what was the masterpiece? It was what's the Suicide Squad anime we watched?
No, Akudama Drive.
Akudama Drive.
She gave.
I thought Akudama Drive was good.
A higher score than Akudama Drive. A 9. That's unheard of.
But I'm including like everything to come. Like, as it's a franchise, and as this franchise continues to grow, it's only gonna get better and better.
All right, so that's all we got. I mean, if she hasn't sold you to watch this anime, fucking watch this anime. And if you
I want to wear the drip so bad.
Give it a solid 9
right now. The Tokyo
it's a manji simple.
I know, but it's like,
yeah, but Americans don't know that.
Yeah, but I wish the drip wasn't that, so I could go on.
You know what we should do? We should get custom their gang jackets custom, but put like the Senpai talk. The red Senpai talk logo where the manji symbol is.
I would love to just show up to like Anime NYC and just that full drip. It's just so cool. Like, that style looks so cool.
Yeah, they're fucking badass. I will say, a lot of the, also to add on to this show, a lot of the character design is very unique. I loved a lot of the hairstyles. Whoa! Hey!
Spoiler!
Whoa!
I just want to type back.
Perry joining the Alba with the Majin drip. But what do you guys type? Go ahead, type. I was gonna click out of it, but type. I see you type it. Fun fact, she says. Oh wait, you can't just talk to him. You could literally talk.
Because you were talking, so I was just gonna try to.
But yeah, a lot of the hairstyles I think and character designs in this show are awesome. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
It's so good. It's so good.
Shadow's
It
House
actually
is not next, but we'll get to that, Pete. What are you gonna say?
And also has like even though they're middle schoolers and we talked about there's like really eventful things that you don't think would take place for their age group, some of them too are just so shocking. Like I was like, I didn't expect that to occur in this story, like kind of along those lines. Oh god, I don't want to. I'm trying so hard not to spoil.
All right, we're gonna
anything.
end it there with Tokyo Revenger, so you don't spoil us.
I love it so
You
much.
cannot.
It's my favorite right now.
All right, we're gonna go to Shadow's house, even though it's not next, just because that was the next slide that Perry showed.
No, just you can
No,
go
it's
in
too
order.
late. It's too late. It's too late. But Shadow's House, me and Perry actually binged this because we were able to watch it right when it ended. We loved it. Very unique show. It's not a show I normally gravitate in anime, but I am happy I watched this because the mystery of this plot really pulled me in, like it does most of us who've watched it and like it. But yeah, it's long story short for this anime. It's about I guess a society where shadow people are like the dominant class of this
Shadow people.
yeah of this one mansion, and because they're shadows, they do not have faces and cannot express their emotions, so they somehow get dolls, as you can see in the picture, to work as their bodies and their expressions, and they have to like act as them and do the same gestures and stuff like that. And as you watch the anime, you kind of figure out the dynamic and the classism, I guess, of the shadow people and their dolls, and the I guess the hierarchy in the mansion that these people work at. But yeah, like I said, a show I normally wouldn't watch on my
I
own.
really love the concept.
But yeah,
It's so interesting because it's like the idea of the shadows. It's like why would they need the people? And it's because the shadows can't really differentiate between themselves, and so they have like their clothing has to be really well taken care of, and then these people like if I'm moving like this and I'm a shadow, my doll would move like this, and I would be the one vocalizing because the doll is like they're working for me, they're below me in this world that they live in. Such a unique concept. Every time I've told it to somebody, everyone brings up Promise Neverland. They're like, oh, it's kind of like Promise Neverland. And if I'm thinking about it, it's like, yeah, actually. So the character you see that's the shadow on the left, her name's Kate, and the one on the right is Amiliko. You could almost say like Kate was Ray and Amiliko was Emma. And then they do get a gang together of like other shadows and living dolls. They kind of start to form connections and relationships. So it kind of has like a Promise Neverland, like kids against like figuring out the system kind of vibe. I started binging the manga after we caught up. It's really good. It's so different, and then also the shadows have all these intricacies. Like they produce.
whoa! Is this spoilers? I want to stop you there.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't dive into that.
They do show that some ways that you can differentiate a shadow is like the way their particles, their shadow particles, like I guess gyrate or like the aura of their particles. But
I was just gonna say like that they produce like dust.
Okay,
like,
I thought you were gonna
they're
go into
living dolls. Like, well, also like they're part maid, and that's a big part of their duty because
it's to clean.
Yeah, because like if the dust collects, like there's a lot of consequences that could follow. So, really unique concept. I think it's really one of a kind because it's not like these are monsters eating us. It's like these are shadows, and we're trying to figure out the mystery of why we serve them.
Yeah.
Super unique.
So, you got anything to add?
Yeah. No, it's just a really solid mystery anime. I think they did a really good job of unfolding the details of the world. It wasn't just like we're gonna throw everything at you at once, or give you a whole bunch of stuff, then not give you anything, then give you a whole bunch of stuff. I think they did a really good job of like slowly revealing all of the details and the mystery behind the world. So I would give it like a solid 7, maybe 7.5. I thought it was a very solid show.
The first episode is slow, and we almost dropped it because we were like, oh, we don't really care to watch this young female character clean this room. And then we started to get more of the mystery and started to see what they're up against.
Yeah, as we met more characters.
Honestly, now that I've read the manga and I'm looking at what the first season covered, the first season did a good job opening up the mystery, but there is so much more to the system. Like, can I liken it to Promise Neverland? Like, and give Promise Neverland?
Oh, it's similar. It's very similar.
It's like if they were like, oh, we got to break out of like, or we got to get away from the mom in Promise Neverland. Like that's what the first season feels like. But you know, there's a whole other world in Promise Neverland. That is also in this show.
Yeah, because they have hinted at the show, like showing you like
there's a whole other system.
Like life, a little bit of life, or like outside of the mansion that they work in. So if this does get more seasons, I would love to watch it. But yes, Chinn, fuck the Promised Neverland season 2. But I'd give the show like an 8 out of 10, like a 7.7 out of 10, if I want to get more specific.
I would give it like a 7 out of 10, and the manga I would give like an 8 or 9 as it starts to get animated. Not really a 9, but an 8 as it starts to get animated. Because compared to like Tokyo Revengers, where I was binging it hardcore and I couldn't go to sleep, here I read this like 10 chapters a night and then I go to bed, or I read a different manga. So it's still engaging. It's still really, really good. I actually like it a lot.
So if you don't care if you didn't really care to watch a show because of like the key art, the art of the show itself that you see, and just like, a little small girl with blonde hairs and her shadow thing, I don't really care. I give it a chance, and
because it's not really that. It's a mystery.
So the next show, we did skip that. Never mind, I can talk about this. I thought we were gonna go to the next one after Shadow's House, but I could definitely talk about Zombieland Saga Revenge, because this shit is one of the funniest animes I've ever seen in my life. And the sequel, which is this show that you're seeing right now, Zombieland Saga Revenge, is, I think, just as funny. I think it doesn't stop the ball at all. I haven't finished it yet, but I love the direction it went into so far. But Chili, since you've watched it, you want to take it away?
So Zombieland Saga Revenge is the second season of Zombieland Saga. It continues after the huge show where it was like this huge stadium, we'll just say 100,000 seats, and they sold like 1,000 tickets or like 100 tickets. So like huge blunder. So this is like their comeback. This is like their comeback season. And I really like this season because we learned a lot more about each of the characters. Okay. And each of the characters kind of got their zombie idols.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why they look human because they have to blend in with society.
We got a lot of background for basically all of the characters, and I really love that because the first season it was very funny and like awesome, but we didn't really know much about any of the characters. It was a mystery what their life was before. Like we got like hints of it, but nothing was ever really explained, or like they didn't really get into it like that. But this second season they got into each of that with each of those characters, and I thought it was a really cool thing they did. I thought it was a really cool way that they did it, kind of giving each of the characters their own little like 1 or 1.5, maybe 2 episode arcs. And then it all comes to the culmination at the end. And a possible season 3 on the way.
Oh wow. I thought they were gonna end up this one.
So yeah, I don't want to give away the ending. It's not it's nothing that's like a crazy plot story, but like I don't want to give anything away. But solid, very solid 8.5.
Yeah, I've never not laughed when I watch the show. That's why I enjoy it. And obviously,
is it like a slice of life, or is it?
It's like a comedy slice of life. It's like it's like an idol show. Like, you know, as a guy, I don't really go out of my way to watch like a show about.
Would I like it?
I don't know. I think it's funny as fuck. So I can't really. But I don't know if you'll find it funny. Like, I will say their manager is probably the best character in the entire
Mamoru Miyano, bro. Voices the manager.
Like, every time he says good morning is so funny. But and he keeps like squid snacks in his blazer pocket. It's for no reason. But
it's hilarious.
If Pete is saying show is near perfect, I don't know if that holds anything to you. I'll be watching from episode 1. I don't care. Like, it's funny, but you have to watch the first season, obviously, if you do want to dive in. Anyone finish One Piece?
To be honest, I don't know.
Welcome.
I don't know if it's a PARI show. I don't know if it's a PARI show. And I don't mean that in like a mean way. I just don't know if it's something that would like keep you intrigued. I say check it out. I think it's worth checking out at least. Like, definitely check it out.
It's a show about girls that are zombies that got brought back to life to be top idols. So does that sound interesting to you? And us saying it's funny? All right, then don't watch it. Like,
it's like you guys are rating it good. Then I'm like,
it's funny. It's a funny show.
I think check it out. I think you check it out, and I think in the first couple episodes, you'll know if you're gonna like it or not.
HQ's watched and read One Piece twice. That's
Yo,
amazing.
HQ, thank you for the Discord plug. I was
Discord
gonna
plug.
do the command, but he did it for us. So, leading to our next segue, not a great segue, but an unfunny show that I think I got ruined because I spoiled myself with the ending, is Higehiro.
I wanted to watch this when I kept hearing everyone rave about it up until I heard the ending, and I was like, oh, I don't want to watch that anymore.
So the plot led us to
Watch it.
believe it was gonna be a great ass, wholesome ass show, and in true anime fashion, they did the thing that you don't want them to do, but they do anyways when it comes to an older male character and a younger girl character.
I think we should just talk about it. Like as much as I know about it, it's basically grooming. It wasn't supposed to be grooming. It was supposed to be wholesome. Like, let me help you work through your self-esteem, right? I haven't watched it, so I'm not able to spoil it. Besides, just at the end, it is grooming, and that's unfortunate because it wasn't supposed to be. I wish it wasn't.
Which is crazy to me because the where I stopped off at is his manager at the place he works at, who is a very attractive woman, said like, "Yeah, I like you, bro," and then he was like, "Oh shit, she likes me. I liked her for forever." And
This
I don't
this show was so good until the last last three episodes was so good until the last 3 episodes, and then episode like 10 and 11 were just super slow, and just like it felt like the plot was moving along at a good pace, and then it just like paused and was like, okay, so we're here now. This is kind of like the big moment, like something big should be happening here between the parent and her and him. And it was like they basically spent 2 episodes to get through one conversation that lasted for like 5 minutes. And it was like, okay, it's like, okay, not the best, but all right. And then the last episode, oh my God, literally what Pete, so this is another one Pete and I agree on. That last episode, terrible. Like literally I had the show, it probably started out the season solid 8.5.
Yeah.
Solid. And then the last 3 episodes, it was like, okay, you're probably at like a 7.5, maybe a 7. And then after that last episode, it was like 5.5. Because I still enjoyed a lot of it.
He was like
but
26 or 28, something like that.
It's like you were supposed to like what I wanted from everybody was telling me was he was supposed to be a mentor, right? He was supposed to mentor her.
He was supposed to put this girl on the right path of life because she was using her body.
Around.
Yeah, she was using her body in a not
sleeping around, and he was
way.
trying to be like,
So, yeah,
hey,
that's the premise.
Not the only
like
way you can do things. We're not shaming women here. We're just saying like he was saying like, hey, if that's what you're used to able to get ahead in life, there's another way. That's what he was supposed to mentor her, right? But in fact, he was, and you said there was a setup apparently for him to be like, he's like, I like my coworker, she likes me back, and it's like, all right, woman your age that you likes you back.
That's the thing.
And then he went, apparently, I'm gonna pick the teenage girl, which is just.
I mean, Chinn says there's a time skip, so maybe she wasn't.
There is a time skip. There is a time skip. So she's older, but still, like literally,
that's still grooming.
This woman that, like Kumar said, this woman that he worked with, that he was always like, oh, I love her, like I want to be with her, and then she literally says, like, I like you, like, and he's like, I don't know what to do. He has 2 people at work his age that like him, and he's still. Yeah, no.
Drop the ball for the girl that he letting stay, like, or whatever, and helping out in life.
Not worth the time.
Even if
it's still better than Koikimo. Not worth the time though.
And I don't get it. Like, I know this is a problem in society, but I think it's getting fixed because as a 25-year-old, when I see like a 17-year-old girl, you can clearly tell they're 17. Like, it's totally obvious in their personality and how they carry themselves, and like. It's different than talking to someone who like has a job and is studied and like
it's
so different. So I don't understand how you pick that. Like you're picking a child. I'm going off on a tangent.
That
just pisses me off.
But yeah, I got, like I said, I was watching the show, then I found out the ending, and I dropped it immediately. Hit the X on my tab on Google Chrome for this. So. I cannot recommend it to anyone. I will not rate it because it's a shame. It's just a shame.
Yeah. Had so much potential and really, really fumbled the bag.
Yeah. So the next show, I started. I think I dropped because I thought it started getting a little too cringe for me, which is very rare in anime for me to get really cringed out. But this is Full Dive. Uh, I guess you watched it, Chili.
Stupid. It's stupid.
It's a
It's
stupid show.
dumb.
That's what
It
I thought.
is. It's
It looks cringy,
if SAO was a comedy, basically.
but it is.
Like if SAO was a super. I knew Perry was gonna say something. I'm not even gonna acknowledge it. If SAO was a full blown like Konosuba style comedy, but the comedy was super cringy, like that's what it was.
Yeah.
It's not worth the time.
The episode I dropped it on was like I think P was involved or something. There was like a urinary joke or some shit, and I was like, all right, this is enough of this fucking show.
Yeah. I don't even have anything to say about it.
Bro, I could have
really.
left this off the
Like,
slide then. Why did you tell me to put it on?
Just to warn
I don't know what you watched. I don't
No,
know what
you're
you
right, you're
watched.
right.
What
Just
you
warn
did,
others.
like,
Don't waste your time.
Yeah, don't waste your time on this show.
Yeah.
Easy drop if you have started it. Full Dive. I mean, there's so many other isekais that do this so much better. Konosuba being the prime one, obviously, if you're looking for laughs for an isekai,
Yeah.
or Sao in Perry's point of view.
in Perry's eyes.
But yeah, moving on to a show that I'm on the fence about finishing.
Wait, did you finish it? Can you tell us if it's good? Go ahead.
Full Dive. Have you finished Full Dive?
No, the next one.
Oh, I think Chili watched
What is it?
Joran, right? Princess of Blood and Snow.
Did you finish it?
Oh,
Oh,
Bad.
his reaction says it all.
bad.
Because we dropped it after
The
3
third
episodes.
episode, the fourth episode. Yeah.
The first
It's
episode was
bad.
boring, and then the second we're like, maybe we'll get development, and the third, because the art is cool, but it's like, why? We were so bored.
I had high hopes. It gave me the Kill Bill vibe, and then I was like, this is going nowhere. And then we dropped it.
The Princess
bad.
of Hidden Trash.
The Princess of
The
Midnight
action-
Trash.
Nah, the action was cool. Like the action scenes were very cool, but
Yeah.
that's basically it.
I don't
Like-
understand either, because I agree with the action scene, but they had this whole setup of like, oh, she was apparently something with her childhood has to do with this man that she works for, and like she's trying to like there was like a whole setup there, and I'm like, why am I not?
They-
Why was I not interested? Why weren't we
Because
interested?
they didn't explain anything they gave us no context really, like at the start of
The
the show.
It
first-
just wasn't.
The way they explained it, it was like they had this really cool sounding plot, and then it was over in 3 episodes, and it was
Yeah.
like, so
Where do we go from here?
so this is the plot that you were explaining the whole time,
That's true.
and it's over. Like it literally finishes in 3 episodes, and it's like, okay, where does the show go from here? And then it just, I don't know,
I
it
mean,
was all
Chinn
over the
says-
place.
It's, oh, I'm an assassin. I want revenge. I have abilities. I get my revenge. Episode 4. Oh wait, someone I saved is now getting killed by my coworker that now has power.
They
just-
It's all over
Yasuke themselves. They Yasuke themselves.
I think
It's
the
all
thing
over
too
the
is
place.
the first episode was supposed to sell you like. Can I just talk about the first episode?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
He owns this bookstore, right? And this guy comes in. It's apparently he's a customer that's been there a long time. And spoiler alert: at the end of the episode, he turns into a monster. She has to kill him, and she realizes like, oh, you
Yaki.
were a customer I had for a lot. And it was like, there was nothing there because we were like, I feel no attachment to her because she's kind of cold-hearted. I feel no attachment to this customer that turned into a monster that she had to work. Not even she really felt anything when she had to commit the. She was just like, oh, I know you. Like it was just like I feel like it was supposed to be emotional, but none of it was.
Yeah. So that's the show. Prince. This is a show you can easily not watch.
Just don't.
Don't even
It's
bother.
just such a shame. It looks cool.
It had such a good premise, like without watching anything, and then this is what you get to
Yeah.
watch it.
Don't waste your time.
So,
I think I gave it like
no
a
rating
three- a
because all of us dropped it.
3 maybe. I finished it, so I'd probably give it
Oh.
like a 3 or
Okay.
4.
Okay,
Like
I'm impressed that you finished
Yeah.
it.
You poor bastard.
it was one of those. I'm very much one of those where like if I don't drop it within the first like 3 episodes and I've already devoted time to it, I'm kind of like, and it's only 12 episodes. I'm like, all right, let me just finish it, whatever.
The next show we're gonna get into is another rom com. I don't know if Chili watched it. I didn't watch it. I was a little iffy on even starting it, so I didn't. This is a rom com called where the rom com where the childhood friend won't lose. It looks
That's
kind of bland. to me.
Funny. The title is
Average,
funny.
very,
Average.
very, very average. Like
So
as
was-
average Yeah, it's not good.
Okay,
It's
I'm
not
glad I
good.
didn't start it.
Like I literally gave it like an average score, like straight up 5 out of 10 because there were some funny moments, but like it is very, very it's it gives you nothing. Like it is just as
Garbage rise
average as a
average.
high school harem can get.
So this is why
Like
the childhood friend never wins, because then the show
Because
is boring.
it leads to a terrible show. That's what I'm getting.
yeah, yeah, it's nah. Skip. Don't watch it. Don't waste your time.
All right, cool.
If you want to watch,
Easy
if you want to
review.
watch a good harem, go watch Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches.
Yeah, that's a great
That's
fucking show.
funny.
Yeah, it's a great anime. So the next one I watched up until episode 3. I wasn't. I not that I thought it was bad. It just was a little stale to me. I was like, I found myself literally falling asleep to most of the episodes I watch. It's the Saint's magic power is omnipotent. So since I haven't watched all of it, I can't really talk much
Wait,
about it. It's about a girl. She gets isekai'd to this fairyland place, this magical place, and she realizes that she wants to make like healing potions or help out with like pharmaceutical things. And she realized that, oh, I'm able to make better potions than what they have, and that's all I know
'Cause
about it.
It's science.
Yeah, that's all I know about it because I only watched up to episode 2.
So what happened is I'm gonna give more of a little more of a detailed
Yes,
synopsis.
please. Like I said, I don't know shit about the show.
What happened in this show is you have this office worker comes home, she gets isekai'd into another world. Her and another girl from the real world get isekai'd into this fantasy world because they're trying to summon a saint because their kingdom or whatever is going through all these issues, so they're trying to summon a saint to help resolve these issues. And her and the other girl get summoned, and the prince of the kingdom acknowledges the other girl as the saint, like right off the bat, because Sei comes to the new world and she has like glasses and she's pretty, but she's like nothing special about her. Like very, I would say like above average looking person, but like nothing special. So the prince kind of just like doesn't even acknowledge her and goes to this other girl and he goes to like train her to become the saint. Meanwhile, Sei starts working with the academy and they're like, we're very sorry this happened to you. Like, we didn't mean to summon two of you, and we didn't mean the prince to act rude to you like that. And she's like, well, I'm here now. Like, kind of like, what do you guys do basically? Like, what do I do? And she's interested in like herbs and like she's in the new world. She's like, oh, magic, like alchemy, like that sounds kind of cool. Let me try this. And it turns out that her magic power is like 1.5 times more potent than like anybody else. So when she creates these potions and all these different things, they're like way more effective than anybody else I could possibly create
That
them.
sounds fun.
So basically, she is the saint, and nobody really knows it until like a couple episodes in that like she is definitely the saint because she does all this like otherworldly, like crazy magical things that nobody else can do. So you kind of see her going about how she grows her power and learns more and adapts to being in this new world because she's like stuck in it. She's like, well, I'm here now, so like let me become a part of this world and like
I think
just live here.
It sounds like a webtoon I've read, but it sounds like
so
I think I would read it as a manga. I don't know if I'd really watch it as an anime.
It's good. I really enjoyed it. It has a slice of life feel to it. It has some like dramatic moments. And there's a little bit of romance in there as well. So it's like I would say it's a solid mix of Ascendance of a Bookworm. I don't know if you've seen that, but Ascendance of a Bookworm and Snow White with the Red Hair. Like a solid mix of those two shows, I would say.
Those are both shows.
What would you rank
I
it?
think it's fun. I think I gave it probably like a 7.5. It's a good watch.
All right.
It's
I mean,
a very
I give the show, like I
enjoyable
said, I
watch.
was kind of falling asleep to the episodes I watched, so maybe I'll be able to get through them with the intent to finish it because of your rating of it. It wasn't bad when I was watching it. I just like was falling asleep. So yeah, whether you're interested in it or not,
I'll probably just read it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a show you'd rather read than watch anyhow, but. Because, like you guys know me, I need someone getting punched in the face or something to be engaged. But all right, the next show is all chilly because it deals with a sport close to his heart and who he is. We got.
Didn't you drop this?
No, he did not.
Isn't this the one that had bad animation?
He still watched it. It's about
Yeah,
soccer. He's gonna watch it.
Pete will be on my side with this one because Pete was so out of it after the first episode, and he ended up loving the show. Like,
I thought the
it
animation of the
is.
skirts was like terrible.
It has some. The animation is not the best. The animation is not good, like not the best, but the cast of the show is incredible. Like, absolutely incredible cast. And I really enjoyed this show because obviously it's a soccer anime, and we don't get soccer anime a lot of the time. And this show did a very good job of really taking like real world soccer moves and analytics and tactics and techniques and all of these things and actually applying them in the anime. So like they would use a lot of like real world references to players and all these different coaches and tactics. And even when they were playing the games, they'd be like, "Oh, this is happening, da da da," and they would talk about it as if you were watching like a real soccer game. Like it was crazy. So I loved it personally for that. Especially if you like soccer or love watching the game of soccer, like you'll absolutely love it. You have to get past the animation. The animation is a little janky at times, but the the cast is amazing. Amazing cast.
Yeah, I mean that's what a lot of people that who are from what I've heard. Like I went on TikTok live with A Burnsy, another anime content creator in our Discord. He's a TikTok anime creator. He said exactly everything you said, Chili. Obviously, because you guys both were in the world of soccer as professional athletes. So he literally said the same thing. How he loved how they incorporated real life soccer play, like soccer, I guess, strategies or play styles into the show, and showing how to do it or how to go about it in a real game strategy or real game time. But yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting on Blue Lock or whatever the heck that manga that's out right now to get animated, because I hear that's the soccer manga that's hot right now. So if it gets animated, I'm definitely on that ball. Cause like I
Well,
said,
we're getting two soccer anime coming
oh
soon.
two, look at them blessing
Yeah,
us.
there's one called Ao Ashi or Ao Ashi, something like that,
Oh,
and then
Ashley.
Blue Lock. Yeah,
What's
Ao
the
Ashi.
are they different? Like in terms of like plot? I know Blue Lock has like a special sort of
Yeah, they're different.
like
They're different.
what's the word I'm looking
Ao
for?
Ashi is more like a that one's more just like a regular soccer
Yeah, isn't there like something
sports
special about
anime.
Blue Lock where like if they lose something bad
Yeah,
happens to them or something like that?
yeah,
Okay. But yeah, soccer, if you're into
yeah.
that
Pete
thing, if you
shit.
can look past bad animation, Kramer is the show for you. But another sports anime for you
Wait, what'd
sports
you rate
fans.
it?
Huh?
What did he rate it?
What are you rating Kramer?
I give it like a 7.5. Solid
Wow,
seven
even
and a
with the
half.
animation. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, the next show we got is a show that I love and I watch, but this is like a spinoff. So Chili, if you want to take it away with the Slime Diaries, is it
Yeah, so this is
the time I got reincarnated as a slime?
that time I got reincarnated as a slime. This is basically its slice of life
Oh, I
spinoff.
got you.
Like it doesn't really push the plot of the time I got reincarnated as a slime. It's just the day-to-day life in their like world, in their little kingdom that they have there.
Right.
There's not much to say about it. It's a good slice of life fantasy type thing. It's not a must watch because, like I said, it doesn't push the narrative of the
The actual
original
story.
anime,
Yeah.
but like it's fun.
Got you. Uh, I don't normally go out of my way to watch like the spin-off version. I think the only one I've done was when Naruto had like their Chibi spin-off show. I forgot what that was called, but it was Rock Lee was like the main character of that spin-off slice of life for Naruto. It was funny. Like they made the animation was clearly different to differentiate. I think that's what most anime do is like if they have like a spin-off like comedy version of the show, they'll make the animation like completely different, like make the characters chibi or whatever. Uh, isn't Boruto a spinoff? No, HQ, because Boruto is actually getting really fucking good. Okay, I used to slander Boruto too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm actually very hyped for Boruto. The direction it's going to. And Perry reads the manga, so she's getting me hype about what they do for what they're doing for it. But yeah, if Chili likes it, then there's nothing more to say about it. I'm sure I would like it. I just have too much to catch up on with the spring anime. So
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
gonna
not a must
pass on
watch,
this.
but
Boruto is aight. Okay, HQ. Okay, HQ. Whatever. But yeah, I think didn't slime the time I got reincarnated as a slime. Part 2 of season 2 isn't that this season of summer?
Yeah, it's airing right now.
All right, I gotta start that because summer is already rolling in, and I'm sure that'll be our next stream whenever we get to do that next Sunday or the following Sunday. Summer preview. But anyways, we're gonna close it off big because me and Perry were able to binge the show, and Chili was this is the show of this is Chili's show.
Masterpiece.
This is Chili's lifetime show. If you want to see him cry, go to TikTok. Go to his TikTok and just watch his post of him crying.
Yep.
And that's Fruits Basket, the final season that ended this past spring season, 2021.
100 out of 10.
100 out of 10. That's a fair rating.
Yes.
Easy 10 for Pete, of course. Perry, I know you read the manga beyond like any of us, and we're waiting for this show to get animated right or have a better animation.
Yeah, because the first time it came out, I think I love the opening of the originals more than I like the openings of these ones, because especially that last season had a really poppy opening, and I was like, I don't know if that fits. I was really hoping you'd cry. Honestly, I was binging it with him so he would cry, but I think because we were binging it together,
no chilly moment.
No chilly moments for me. I'm sorry.
I think it's like if he was watching it alone and really able to absorb the emotion versus us, both of us being like, punch Akito, punch Akito. Like,
yo, bro, I wanted someone to fuck Akito up so bad, bro.
That was most of us. So
yes, they used the Chinese Zodiac here HQ in this show. I also don't think I cried because I think I was too expectant of it being sad. If I went into this show blind, I think I would have shed a tear.
My bad.
It's all good. You cried enough tears for the entire world for this show. So that's a feat in itself.
Because there's even parts that I rewatched and I teared up again because I once again I read this when I was probably in middle school, and it's done a lot to actually shape my life because Toru's outlook is really, really forgiving. So I think overall everyone should know this story. I think the anime adaptation that they did was really clean. It was
animation was phenomenal. Voice acting was phenomenal. I loved the character.
Even I saw someone review like the original versus this current style of animation, and I would agree that the comedy in this animation was much better done. It's more on par with how the book shows comedy, because Fruits Basket comedy is very like you cut really quickly to a deadpan look, or like to like if someone says something, you'll cut to another character acting a certain way, because it's a really strange sense of comedy that's really just Fruits Basket central. I really loved how it's portrayed in the manga. I was nervous how they were going to adapt it, but I think they did a good job adapting it to animation. I still prefer, as a personal preference, how the jokes come across in manga, because I think it's just the quick 1-2 panel thing, but I think they did as best as they could with an animation. So
I still laughed a lot. I think a lot of the characters are funny, but I loved how when it came time to really dive into who they are as a person and like show the seriousness of like the relationships with other characters or just who they are and what they represent was very, very well done. So Chili, this is the floor. The floor is yours now, sir.
I honestly, we could be here for like 30 minutes and I could gush about this entire series. I know we're just talking about the final season, but like the entire series is just a masterpiece. This final season was Chili about to start crying. It was just like I don't even have words for it. Like the way this show made me feel. Like for the characters, for the relatability to certain characters in real life, or like because I feel like anybody could watch Fruits Basket and be like, well, and obviously without like the anime fantasy parts of them transforming and stuff, but like they could see either themselves in some of the characters, or they see somebody that they know, they see a parent, a family member, like, and I feel like that personal just connection with the characters and the things they were going through and the different struggles they had and how they like overcame everything. It's just so beautifully done. Like I have no words.
Is that Fruits Basket really breaks apart the theme of when it comes to love, parental relationship. A lot of the time we go through navigating life that what do we have to do to deserve love? And this show breaks that down and changes into, no, love can be unconditional. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be you, and you have to find somebody you don't have to find somebody who will accept you will just accept you, and that Toru is the
Yes.
character who's the embodiment of unconditional love, and this show breaks down a lot of traumas that we all
Mhm.
start to develop through our childhood with what we encounter as people treat us, and then how we reflect on ourselves and how we deserve to be treated versus how we actually deserve to be treated. So, really good show for breaking down any childhood traumas that you've ever had, on wanting to feel seen, wanting to feel heard, wanting to feel loved. It's super good. I recommend it for everybody.
Amazing.
If you're an anime
Yeah.
person, this is a great anime adaptation to the original manga.
It's just so incredible. Just so very and I guess more specifically on this season, the dichotomy that they showed between Toru and Akito because they're very similar, but they came up in just different ways. In like different one person was very nurtured and had a very loving mother and caring family and all this stuff, and then the other one didn't have any of that. The other one was just almost like a tool. And I think they did an amazing, absolutely just amazing job with that. And I love it, and I cannot wait to collect the manga and reread all of it and have more chilly moments.
Yo, Chili,
manga hits
Chili, what
hard.
do you think about what Chin just said?
Oh no, he's gonna cry for sure,
Oh,
100%.
Chin's gonna
Because
cry.
Chin's
Chin's
definitely
gonna
gonna
cry.
Because
I
Chin,
think it's
because Chin will cry at the exact same thing that I will cry at. Like he's
Chin's
gonna
gonna
cry for
cry.
sure.
Wait, Chin, are you gonna watch it with AK or is she watching it ahead of you? Because I saw she was watching it on the plane or whatever.
They'll both cry. Like,
Yeah, I know. I'm sure AK will ball, so there's good chances that Chin will definitely ball.
I wonder why like you did.
I think
maybe because we were binging it, and
I think my hopes were set too high because I wanted to cry or I wanted to see what the reason was for crying, and it just didn't hit me like hitting you
I
guys.
feel like reading it's more emotional.
you were prepared. You were very prepared.
I think I was too prepared to be like to prepare myself to be like, you know, all right, tears they're gonna flow in this show, and it didn't.
Chin's gonna cry though.
Yes.
For
No,
sure.
Chin.
100%.
I think I just couldn't get attached.
I think
to...
it's because I was also watching with you. I feel like if you watched it alone, you would.
That could be it.
It's a different experience watching it alone, I think.
Because like you just start to sink in versus when we're both watching it, we're making comments of like, didn't he do that? Didn't she go do that? And we end up accidentally pulling ourselves out of it.
Nah, if it doesn't have like a Jiraiya moment, then I'm not gonna cry.
I had so many better ones though.
No,
Yeah, I was gonna
Jiraiya.
say there's whoa.
No,
okay.
Mako, I've definitely cried. Who's this person? Hey, I gotta whatever this bot is. How do I get rid of you? Sir,
Gone.
sorry.
I already got rid of him.
Gotcha.
I've never seen him cry. Oh, I've seen you cry once.
You've seen me, nah, but I like there. I've cried to shows for sure, but this one just. I mean, Mako, you've cried to your eternity, like shit like that gets me in the crying mood.
We all just need a chilly moment.
Yes, hashtag chilly moment. If you guys are on TikTok and make a post about something that makes you cry in anime, you gotta hashtag it with chilly moment. Let's get that trending. Let's get that.
You know what? You're right.
Let's
We're gonna
make
get
that a
that going.
thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Yo,
We love emotional
Get that
men.
going.
Chili, you know you gotta make a post now.
I don't feel any sort of embarrassment
Wait,
towards
Chili,
that.
you gotta make a
whatsoever.
post now.
That's why I love you.
I will.
Dixie.
I will.
The next TikTok you make, just make it like a general one and be like, "Yo, can you guys, if you cried to an anime, hashtag chili moment," and I'll react
Let's
to it.
find those
Like, let's find
animes.
those people, bro.
Bet.
Yo, exactly, Chinese shit like that. Like Minato saying happy birthday to Naruto got a tear out of me. Castlevania, fucking Dracula in season 2 got a tear out of me. Huh?
Oh, I wasn't there when you watched that for
Yeah.
the first time.
Yeah, I rewatched season 1 and 2 for you. That was the gist of our dating
Yeah.
in COVID, the beginning of COVID.
But I didn't cry for Castlevania.
Not like a full cry HQ, like a tear, like watery eye tear. That still counts, okay? The emotions were pulled.
It wasn't a full on chili.
Yeah,
moment.
I haven't bawled to anything yet. Rengoku seeing his mom. Spoilers. Got.
He didn't cry during the Demon Slayer movie either.
No, I cried. You know what's funny? I cried the second
didn't.
time I watched it.
Oh really?
I teared up so bad.
Maybe you just need to watch Fruits Basket all over again by yourself
No.
and then just cry.
Like when I watched it with
I was gonna
like
say, I
Bobby
didn't-
and Slack, like that moment just hit me like so much more. I don't know why. Maybe it was because I knew it was coming and I like wanted to.
Yeah, maybe rewatch Fruits Basket on your own.
I'm not
Because
rewatching Fruits
it's-
Basket. I sat
it's
through
so,
it. It was good.
It's such a releasing cry though.
No, I
Fruits
need
Basket is such a like epiphany cry.
I need Sakuga. I need fighting. I need people getting thrown through walls and stabbed.
Have a hashtag chili moment. All right,
But yeah, that was our last anime for the spring 2021 seasonal review. A lot of sleepers.
Oh, we didn't talk about. Oh, we didn't throw Into Your Eternity.
We didn't throw Into Your
It's
Eternity.
apparently not
because
done
it's
either.
not
But
done.
we wanted to. I wanted to talk about that.
We can gush about it.
Because it's on pause.
There's no new episode last week. There was no new episode. What is Deshaun spoiling?
It was a Demon Slayer movie. Spoiler.
All right, yeah. Chill. What HQ? I mean, granted, I had to agree because that's what I said. It was boring up until
the last 20
the
minutes.
last hour, the last 45 minutes or whatever that was. But yeah, To Your Eternity is a godlike show. It's not over yet, but it started in the spring season, and it's definitely one of the most unique shows in general in anime, I think.
It's had Mako
The
crying.
show is just special.
If you want to cry, it's also a good show.
Crying.
Do that one, yeah. Hold on. We'll bring up a picture to give you guys some more context for those who have not yet. Are you gonna put it over in Fruits Basket like that?
I want to be quick
So
about
disrespectful.
it. I want to be quick about it. All right.
Disconnect Destiny TV rating with a party of 7. I'm sorry I butchered your name. But thanks for the raid.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. How are you, Panda Falcon? Welcome. What's going on? We're just here talking about.
Welcome.
Thank you for the follow as well.
Thank you.
We're talking about the spring season of anime this past spring.
And Mako's here, which is perfect because she just caught up with To Your Eternity and she was having a lot of hashtag chili moments.
Yes.
And for good reason. Because this isn't really a spoiler because I saw someone cover it in the same way. Basically, he's a being that is slowly becoming conscious and sentient.
Thank you for the follow, Gomeza. Thank you for the follow, Chaco Fantastica.
Appreciate it.
And as he's starting to regain an understanding, he is able to morph into other creatures. But the caveat is he can really only morph if he can experience a strong emotion of a creature he specifically
Parry, she's not going to
encountered.
spoil. I mean, HQ, she's not going to spoil it for you. I promise. But you should watch this, HQ.
But basically, yeah, you can only this creature can only morph if they feel a strong emotion of another.
If something
that
or
they
someone
encounter.
affects them emotionally, yes.
Like if they get stabbed, they can suddenly make sticks because that created a very strong emotion of getting pain. Like that's not really a spoiler because there's other things that as you can see, cause a lot of pain physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Disconnected Docina TV. Thank you for the follow and the raid. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, there's oh my gosh, so much in this. And this is one of those shows where they set you up in the opening. I'm not saying what part of what opening, but they set you up and you're like, oh, they're not gonna do this, or they're based on this opening, they're totally gonna do this, and it's a JJK flip, so
Yeah, honestly, this is an easy, even though the show is nowhere near done, To Your Eternity is an easy 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah,
easy
Gomez,
10 out of
it's
10.
an emotional ride.
Wait, hold on. Let's get the Parry score for this show, even though it's not done. And then we'll let Chili talk about it and give us his take. It's got to be at least.
It's amazing. I don't have much to add. It's incredible. It's my favorite new show of the spring season for sure.
An 8 out of 10 for To Your Eternity from Parry, which is a masterpiece.
That's a masterpiece.
Another masterpiece.
Your chilly moments.
Tokyo Revengers is a 9.
Wait, what's the adjective for 9 out of 10 for your scale? If 10 is godly.
Yeah, because 10 is godly.
Yeah. What's
and 8
above
is a masterpiece?
Is there a word for that?
Like almost perfect?
Always?
It's almost that. There's like parts of it that I'm like,
but isn't a masterpiece perfect?
Yeah, how would I describe it then?
So you gotta switch those. You gotta switch those ratings. You gotta.
No, because masterpiece is still an 8.
She's really set on masterpiece being 8. Well, the number 8 resonates to masterpiece for her.
10 is orgasmic.
But yeah, honestly, this Chili. Yeah, did you add anything to Your Eternity?
I just said I think this is my favorite new show of the spring for sure. Like hands down from episode 1. after watching episode 1, like the first episode could have been its own standalone thing, and
Right.
it
This
would have
Beats
been
Fruits Basket is your favorite?
masterpiece.
No.
Favorite new show,
Wait, what's your
new.
favorite of spring?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
Fruits
right. You haven't
Basket.
answered that
Fruits
yet.
Basket, easily.
Oh, easy.
It's
Okay,
Fruits
what's your
Basket
favorite?
hands down.
My favorite from it's either got to be To Your Eternity or Tokyo Revengers. I'm having a tough time picking.
Mine's Tokyo Revengers.
But yeah, if you want to cry, if you're looking for an emotional show, watch this. If you're looking for action, watch this. If you're looking for a unique plot, watch this. That's all I gotta say for To Your
Yes.
Eternity. The hype is real for this show.
And there's so much more. They're setting it up for so much more.
Yeah, the world building is pretty cool to see him go about.
Yeah, the world building, they really
They
just
haven't-
start to touch on it.
Yeah,
There's
they
so
barely,
much.
and that's what's cool. That's what I think more shows need is just you follow the adventure of the main character, and then the world opens up instead of, I don't know, just like
Forcing it, like, here's all the caveats of your power, like, now. Like,
Yeah,
they don't take one episode to do, like, a montage of, here's how I figure out my power. They really are doing a slow exploration.
yeah, it's a really slow burn, and I really like that in anime, because you don't see it enough. Like a lot of anime nowadays, or in general, try to hit you with like all the hype stuff early on to pull you, but when a show is able to capture you in like the slow moments, then I think that's when you know you're in for something special.
And it's very resourceful.
But yeah,
is that all we got?
I think that's all we got. Desconecta,
Yeah.
if I'm butchering your name, I'm sorry. We really appreciate the raid. I'm sorry that we got to end. You caught us at the tail end of our stream, but again, thank you for everyone that followed us in general.
And then we have to do a summer.
Preview. We'll probably do that next stream. For anyone that's new, we try to stream every Sunday at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern.
And we change it up for a lot of the themes.
Yes.
So we have tournament brackets, or we'll go over characters or specific shows.
Your list.
But
Mhm.
because we just hit the end of spring and we're starting summer, and we are like a week behind from taking 1 or 2 weeks off, we have to do a summer's preview, and that I need to figure out what to watch, and so I need this preview.
I've yet to really.
It's a
delve
lot
into-
less. It's a lot less than the spring, so you'll
Thank
be
the Lord.
okay.
But anyways, yeah, follow everybody on your socials. Chili, you wanna plug yourself real quick?
Yeah, well, you could drop the plug
Oh,
in the
okay,
chat or
I got
whatever.
you.
You guys can follow me on TikTok at Chillindo.
Yo, add on
I
to
make
his
stupid
100K
content,
followers. You know, let him make some money off of TikTok.
Let's set you a new goal if you're feeling unmotivated. Let's see you hit 1 million. I believe in you.
Easy.
That's too much.
Okay, 500K. 500K.
Nah, I think he could hit 250K in another 3 months. 4
I feel
months.
like that's very
I think
What?
it's plausible. I think it's plausible.
I think you can hit 250K.
I think it's
Another
plausible.
3 months.
3
See, the
months.
thing is, I just don't have the time nor motivation to just make content right now.
That's fair.
I feel that.
We're both feeling that.
and I need to get away from TikTok because I was at a point where my life was like revolving around it. So
yeah.
So yeah, that's Chili.
Kumar Sutra. I dropped my TikTok link in the chat, but on all socials, I'm Kumar_Sutra. I started streaming a lot more on my own Twitch because my beautiful girlfriend got us a nice PC, which we're able to stream off of when Chinn's not around. Especially when Chinn's not around. But yeah, I play a lot of anime fighting games and bullshit. So I don't know. I don't really have a schedule, but yeah, whatever. Anyways, Parry, you can follow Parry at parry.cecc for not anime content because she doesn't like to post, even though I tell her to post all the time. She wants me to post more than her. I don't get it. She has all the ideas.
I spend all my time supporting him. I'm his IT person for setting up the PC, for running his streams. I also help set up and run the background for all of his TikTok. So I spend most of my time
She's the one that makes it work for me.
supporting. But I hope to be coming out with more content because we actually were just on Shonen Showdown's.
Oh, our boy Shonen Showdown. Follow him on YouTube. He's got like 100K subscribers. He's got a lot of good stuff in the works, and he's been
a really cool guy in the
a really
anime
cool
community.
guy. Chinn and Chili met him at Anime NYC, that anime con in New York City 2 years ago, and that's how the relationship kind of built off of that from them onto here. We've had him on the show a couple times, and from that he's starting to.
So he's
He's always tried to get us into some of his work and projects. So
he's so passionate. We shot a video. I met him for the first time. I really got to see like how passionate and wonderful and how much he loves anime and how much he loves creating content for it. So it actually inspired me to be like, okay, I kind of want to get back into it too because I think I got. Oh, if I'm having a vulnerable moment here. When it comes to creating anime content as a woman, if you have an opinion on anime, you easily get bashed a lot on TikTok. And I was getting to a point where I was like, I can't take it anymore. Where I just was like, I'd rather you create content because they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's dumb or that's silly. But if I were to say the same thing, it would just be like, she's stupid. And so
Which is false because, as you guys can see in a lot of our streams on Twitch, like Perry has some of or most
I
of the
know.
insightful and analytical.
The most extensive knowledge.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's kind of the problem with the community is they have this bias against women that
Like the
they have
misogynistic,
stupid
yeah.
opinions about anime, and I need to help break that up by
Which is
putting
why I'm saying you
myself
should
out
post
there.
more
But
and fucking shut these losers up on social media.
But it also is like I have to put myself out there and get shot to like make the change, and it's
But that's
it's
why you got
hard.
shooters
So-
like me and Chili and Chin that will come at anybody in the
I'm
comments
loaded.
to
I
buy.
got
We will
shooters.
defend you.
I'm just having a vulnerable moment, so that's the biggest reason that I was like I'd rather put all my energy in supporting him and helping him and then create my own content. But yesterday, seeing Rob's energy and even with that backhanded compliment, I was like, all right, I know I should try to get back into creating.
No,
something
you
like
should,
that.
because I guarantee you, when Rob.
Not the moment to really be doing this, but I was like,
Nah, this is our stream. We do what we want here. We gonna talk about anything. But yeah, Parry Supremacy, real talk. But I'm really excited for like once Shonen Showdown. Please follow him on all social media: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. He is such a good supporter of people like us that do anime content. But he always puts out great, amazing anime content himself. Original content, unique, funny content, and also very good debate analysis content on anime. But I'm really excited for the video that we did with him yesterday because I can't wait for the comments in the YouTube video to just talk about like how great.
I'm nervous
Barry
about
is.
the comments.
But I can't wait for them to be like, wow, this fucking girl is killing it. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But
I'm hyped.
But
I'm
yeah,
hyped to
anyways,
see it.
enough of that. Enough of
Yeah.
that. Good energy,
Yeah.
good positive vibes.
Yes.
Everyone tell Perry to post more.
But that's all we got.
That's all
I
we
think.
got. So thanks for tuning in. We dropped the Discord link if you want to join our Discord.
Yeah, even though I don't post, I run an anime book or a manga book club in our Discord. So we run it on Tuesdays, but as of last week, we did a Thursday one. So normally it's on Tuesdays. Right now we're on Nausicaa. We're really dissecting that one because we're starting to get into themes of nihilism, which that happens a little further in the plot. Right now we're pretty much almost catching up to where the movie ended. Super good. So if you want to read Nausicaa, I dropped the links in there so you don't have to buy it. Because I know not everyone has access, but I want to give them access to have the discussion. So we have a book club in our Discord. Another reason you should join.
But thank you guys again for tuning in. See you in the Discord. And have a great night.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Class dismissed.